So welcome to San Ignacio.
This tiny town, located on the western border of Belize, is a popular base for travelers who are looking for adventure and history all wrapped up into one. San Ignacio challenged us with our very first experience spelunking through a cave, wowed us with its many ancient Mayan cities,
And this thing is ginormous, man.
and refreshed us with its gorgeous waterfalls. So, in this video, we'll share our tips for the activities you want to try, the food you want to eat, and the places you want to stay, because this tiny town has so much to offer. After spending 7 days exploring the beautiful Ambergris Key and Key Cocker, we made our way west to San Ignacio by taking a water taxi to Belize City and then taking a bus 2.5 hours west to San Ignacio.
So I'm on the bus. It's completely full. David and I couldn't even sit together. See how I'm sweating? It was a 15-minute walk, and man, it wore me out to get here. And tickets were $12 or $6 US.
The boat and bus rides are a very affordable and scenic way to get to San Ignacio. And it was good that we saved money on transport because the tours that we booked in San Ignacio were some of the most expensive that were ever taken in the world.
I don't know if you can tell it, but I'm about to go on a serious adventure through the ATM Cave. Now, it's so intense, I won't be able to take any electronics, any cameras. On this adventure, we're supposed to be swimming through a river, climbing boulders, going under boulders, going through caves to see these fantastic Mayan ruins in the ATM Cave. So I'm super excited, kind of nervous, don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about this one, but we'll take our time.
Any activity that requires a helmet, you kind of think twice about it, right?
Because our guide was so good, we found the journey through the cave quite easy and the information so fascinating. What makes this tour special is that you get to learn how the Maya did sacrifices to the gods in order to bring rain. At first, they only sacrificed food in these pots. But as the drought became more and more severe, they began to sacrifice fingers and eventually sacrifice people. It was chilling to see the progression so clearly and how desperate they must have been for rain. We booked this tour through Yellow Belly Backpackers for a whopping $115 per person. But I can honestly say it was worth it as the tour far exceeded our expectations. The next day, we booked a tour with Maya Walk Tours to Caracol.
So after a very bumpy car ride, our group is heading to the Rio Frio Cave. So the entrance to this cave is crazy tall, like 65 feet tall.
The inside of the cave is about 1/4 mile long and makes for an interesting stop on the long journey to Caracol. The real highlight of the tour, though, is seeing Caracol. Now, this ancient Mayan city was occupied between 300 BC and 900 AD, and around 200,000 people lived here. So this actually honors a pantheon of Aztec and Mayan gods. They actually put one Aztec god at the top with the hopes of bringing water into the region as there was so much drought.
So this side we have a temple for prayer. And this huge pyramid you see in front of me is actually a multi-purpose administrative building. So they would have public offices here. They would have residences for the elite people. At the very top, they had like little cemeteries for the elite's dead. So they do have people buried in the pyramid as well. So fascinating to see. And now we get to climb the stairs of the pyramid. And this one is the tallest structure in all of Belize and built in 820 AD. It's a quite old one too.
So at this height, you can see some of the rooms that were part of this multi-purpose structure. And the view is simply stunning.
Now we're moving to another site that's just equally as gorgeous. This place is amazing. So this courtyard is how they used to tell the winter solstices. They used these pyramids to triangulate the movement of the sun. So now we're gonna climb up to the top of this one. The archaeologists added these stairs so that tourists and archaeologists alike could access this site and see what those priests saw when they were trying to measure the movement of the sun. And from the top, you have the most beautiful view of the courtyard and can kind of see how you would be able to document the movement of the sun here. Epic views like this is why I travel.
I just never get tired of seeing beautiful ancient sites like this.
And for our last stop of the day, we're hiking to Big Rock Falls. Because it just rained, this waterfall is particularly strong and powerful. We're gonna swim in it though. We got our life vest on. We're gonna make it happen. So incredible! Waterfalls look good on you. Perfect. Never worked
Big Rock Waterfalls was the perfect way to end this tour. Now the tour was a bit pricey at $125 per person, but it really was high quality and very informative. Plus, it's the safest way to get out to Caracol as the road is remote, bumpy, and requires four-wheel drive. But I realize that these tours are quite expensive. So now let's focus on the more affordable things we did during the rest of our stay.
So it's another beautiful morning in San Ignacio, and we're heading to make some chocolate.
At Ajaw Chocolate, you can learn the traditional way the Mayans prepared cacao beans.
So I'm eating a raw cacao bean.
It's bitter.
It has like a fruity taste.
Yeah, it tastes like a fruit. Interesting.
It's very unique, very much different than I thought it would be. So now we have a dried fermented cacao bean. It's crunchy. It tastes like traditional chocolate.
Oh.
It's amazing.
After a quick demonstration of how they grind the cacao nubs, they put me to work and I got to make chocolate for the very first time.
That's a lot of effort. I'm lazy.
Kendra's learning how to make chocolate. That's a good exercise, I think. Yes.
So we just had an amazing chocolate demonstration and we highly recommend it.
I'm Adrian. Welcome to Ajaw. What we do is we do traditional chocolate making. We are producers and growers of chocolate in Belize. We remain to be modern Mayan in Belize that remain to practice the way how everything gets started, growing it, eating it, and of course grinding it by hands on stone. Welcome to visit.
So if you want to experience making, drinking, and eating chocolate the traditional way, then check out Ajaw Chocolate when you're in San Ignacio.
So after a tremendous morning making chocolate, we're heading to another ancient Mayan site, Cahal Pech. It takes about 20 minutes to walk here from town. Now, back in the day, the Maya used to use the cacao bean as currency. So for the Maya, money literally did grow on trees. Now, this pyramid is not nearly as tall as the one we saw yesterday in Caracol, but only around 20 to 30,000 people lived here. Whereas in Caracol, it was more like 200,000 people. Could you imagine the massive city Caracol was and how this would be considered more of a small town? So they're currently excavating right now, and they're sifting through all the rubble for shard and ceramics. So fascinating.
Tickets to Cahal Pech cost 10 Belize dollars and includes an interesting museum exhibit as well. It's definitely worth a stop when you're in San Ignacio. So now is the perfect time to stop for some lunch. Our favorite restaurant was Guavalim. This restaurant has excellent drinks, flavorful appetizers, and delicious main dishes. And it gets our highest recommendation as the best place to eat in San Ignacio. For Indian food, we love Tandoor, whose curries are so flavorful and who has a great view of the town square. Lastly, we enjoyed Koak's Hanma, as they have a great veggie burger, good curries, and a variety of dishes at very affordable prices.
Another Belize tip, always carry an umbrella, because then, rain or shine, you're always prepared and protected.
Another awesome place to see is the Green Iguana Conservation Project, which is located inside of the San Ignacio Resort and Hotel. The green iguana is a threatened species in Belize, so this center focuses on breeding and releasing green iguanas back into the wild. On this hour tour, you'll get to learn all about their efforts and feed, pet, and interact with the iguanas.
That one is interesting. Yeah, it's gonna feel a bit weird.
It came on its own. Oh my god, it feels so weird.
These guys do feel weird.
There we go.
Climb and then they start to jump. This guy jumped off somebody today.
On the hat, turn around, on the Kendra's hat now.
Yeah, he's just chilling.
He's just chilling, man.
Okay, he's in my hat, not my hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were all smiles during this tour and can highly recommend it.
So the one thing I don't like about San Ignacio is there's only 2 ATMs. So there's very long lines to use them. I'm just not accustomed to that. So plan well in advance before you need some cash. So my tip to you is definitely don't try to go to the ATM on Friday, because that's payday and that's when everybody's there. That was my first time having to wait 40 minutes to do something as simple as use an ATM. I'm definitely not in Kansas anymore. So today's adventure is taking the bus to Xunantunich, which is another epic Mayan site. You can also take a taxi, but the taxi driver was telling us it's $40 US for them to take you there and back. So might as well save the money. It's only $4 there and back to go by bus. So you want to take the bus going toward Benque. And our bus left us at all these lovely souvenir stands. Xunantunich is 1 mile up a hill. Here comes the ferry.
And this is one of the most unique ferries we've ever seen. No gas is needed for this ferry, just a bit of manpower on this crank ferry.
David's gonna crank us across the river here.
You gotta hurry and do it too.
Put him to work. Work, David, work. Work, David, work.
Faster. You gotta turn it. Make sure it's turned right.
We're getting there. You're doing good. See, we're almost to the other side already. All right, so how was it to crank the ferry across?
It was a lot of work. Actually, it wasn't a lot of work. It wasn't that many of us, and it's actually not too bad. They set it up in a way that's kind of easy to do.
Now the guy says when they have 4 cars on the ferry, it does get heavy, but if it's just people only, I guess it was easy. I don't know, I didn't try. I was not trying to put any work in today. So now we're walking 1 mile straight up the hill to get to Xunantunich. Now, I know you can't see this hill on camera, but I'm here to report that it is straight up. And we made it. I say it took us 20 minutes to get up the hill. I'm a bit out of breath, but that's my cardio for the day. So I can recommend that walk as very doable. So tickets are $10 Belize. That's about $5 US. So you gotta come into the visitor center because they actually have a hoop from the Mayan ball game, Poke Ta Poke, in the visitor center. So cool. So now we're approaching the Castillo, or the castle, and this thing is ginormous, man. Now, even though there are loads of similarities between these different sites of Caracol, Cahal Pech, and Xunantunich, I will say, just like any other city built between, Miami to New York to LA, there are slight differences. So it is nice to come to see the slight differences between each Mayan city. And from up here, the landscape is just so stunning.
It like takes you back in time. This is pretty amazing to look at this view from here.
Now, even though Caracol is a bit taller, I do think Xunantunich is a bit more impressive. So if you want those wild views, come to Xunantunich.
And going back, I got to row us home.
Oh, it's much heavier.
Come on now. Put some effort in it. You take it too long, we gotta get some lunch. Come on, you're right. Hurry up. You're taking too long. I could go to sleep.
Am I getting anywhere? Are we moving? All right, I'm gonna give it back to the professionals now.
You sure? You sure?
For accommodations, we stayed 7 nights at the Rainforest Haven Inn, which came with a shared kitchen and is just steps away from city center.
If you enjoyed seeing our impressions of San Ignacio, please give the video a like and subscribe to see even more of our travels throughout Central America. Guatemala and Nicaragua are coming up next. All right, world travelers, that's our journey, and good luck in planning your own.
Until then, check out our video on Burgess Key and Key Cocker on the right there. As always, thanks so much for watching and happy travel planning until next time.